Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host GamerK, and it is time for another month full of videos. It is the month of August now, which means many things. For example, my mother's birthday, me and my girlfriend's 6th anniversary, which is going to be great no matter what's going on, and my cousin's daughter's 13th birthday. Hard to believe she's turning 13, and she is a mini-me. Also, because of that, she did something for me. I'm going to do something for her. Go subscribe to her channel. It is Kira Gamer Sans. A link will be in the description down below me. Go check her out. She's been doing pretty well for herself. She does gotcha, I think that's how you pronounce it, gotcha videos. She comes out with really fun characters, really fun stories, and she's doing pretty well for a 12 going on 13-year-old. She's doing great. But enough of that. Time for the first video of the month. And as you can see up there, I met the one, the only, I'm forgetting his name once again. It is the voice of Crocker from Fairlyodd Parents. I met him last year at Fan Expo with my sister. He was such a fun dude, really cool, and I don't have the game case with me because the game case has been lost due to recent moving stuff around over the last couple years. But another game review is up for this week, and it is Fairlyodd Parents Breaking the Rules. A game that is a wish come true, and much like the SpongeBob games, THQ and Nick Games did a amazing, I was going to say perfect, amazing job of creating a game based on the on the shows that they've created. And without skipping a beat, they pull off another amazing one. So, make your wish, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm only going to be... Okay, yeah, that joke doesn't really work. Just keep wishing for more videos. The game started off in 2003, so a good year or two after Fairlyodd Parents originated, because if I recall, SpongeBob happened in 2000. Or 1999. I believe it was either between those. Anyway, continuing forward, the game is one of those games where it's not really a big plot device. The game feels like a full movie of the show, much like Abracatastrophe or School's Out, or what was the other one? What was the other Fairlyodd Parents movie? You know what Channel Chasers. So basically the game kind of works. Timmy wakes up and Vicky's going to be babysitting again, as usual. Unfortunately, he asks Cosmo and Wanda to distract her, which they can't because of the rules, and then Timmy makes the dumb wish of wishing that he didn't have to follow the rules. And being a dimwit, Cosmo does so, which causes something to happen. Turns out that if someone wishes not to follow the rules, that it breaks the rules, that whoever touches them will take the wish power of the fairies dumb enough to grant the wish. And almost like plot armor comes in so much during anime, Vicky walks in and takes the book, and wishes Timmy to be asleep. And it happens. And they have a good number of a time limit in order to find all the pages of the rules, or they lose their wishing license. And ensues the comedy. One thing I love about this game is, even though the animation isn't as polished as things are now, back then it was done very well. It was pretty good for a platforming game, and that's very much what this is. A basic platformer, not really much action going on, but kind of attacking enemies with certain objects in the game. So it's something like that. The game is fun, for one. It's basically a hub world system where Timmy's house acts as the hub, and in certain areas of the house you can go and play the episodes. In each episode, Vicky makes a wish, and it kind of causes us misery. We need to find wish stars in order to gather pages of the book, and then solve the problems as we go. One thing I really got to give credit for is somewhat like in the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom game, every single level in this game is kind of homage to some of the episodes from the show. We've got a badge too far, which is all about the Squirrely Scouts, which is a really fun level, and it's not inside the house like most of the levels. We've got the Vicky virus, which is an homage to the video game episode, and it expands on that pretty well, creating the level design, creating all the different sections like would happen in an actual video game, which is pretty well done. And we got many more. I'm going to go through every one of them, but not all. I'm going to go through all of them as quickly as I can. And also kind of explain what each wish was. So, badge too far. Vicky wishes she's had merit badges to control the Cream Puffs, which are the female version of the Squirrely Scouts, and trouble ensues. The Crimson Chin level is all about Vicky wishing that all of the Crimson Chin powers are gone, and Timmy was locked in the comic book to see how pathetic his hero is. A small problem is Vicky wishes Timmy would be small enough to go into the tub and clean it all. Which is an homage, kind of, to the Shrink Suit episode. Vicky virus, she wishes for Chester, AJ, and Timmy to be locked in a video game until they beat it. Paying homage to Tron a little bit with the data discs of Doom, which is really fun. We got the time travel episode where Vicky wishes that history was the way she wrote it in her assignment. And oh boy, for example, thinking that England was ruled by a woman, not King Arthur, pyramids are cubes, and the Greeks hated sports. And as a Greek, that ain't gonna fly. We invented sports, honey. So everyone who goes to the Olympics, yeah, pay a Greek. Then we got Bad Luck 101, where we have to go to school on a Saturday because Vicky says so. And also wishes us that we would get bad luck, releasing the Anti-Fairies and creating a hide-and-seek version of with Crocker, which is annoying as heck when you gotta collect the stars. The other levels are basic. Another level is based on the Yugopatamia level, where it starts off in the neighborhood, and then we're in the Yugopatamia ship. Which also gives us one of the most hilarious climaxes of the level ever, where we gotta do the 3 challenges that the Yugopatamians make Timmy do in the first appearance, which is going through a field of flowers, hugging a teddy bear, and doing switches over a river of chocolate. For people who've never seen the show, I am not exaggerating. Those are actual tasks. And then we got the Dog Day episode, where Vicky's sister, who loves Timmy, basically Vicky wishes that Timmy was more easy to take care of, like her dog Doidle, and the wish is being taken literally, so we get turned into a dog, we get kidnapped to the pound in the mall. Also, Tootie falls in love with us, so we can't unwish it. So the entire premise of that level is to make her unlove us. Which, also, this mall, for some reason, has floating platforms. I mean, it's creative level design, but what? No. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, people. No. And then we have the final level. So, okay, I've gone over enough. Let's continue. So for starters, the story is fun. It's not so much on the line as other games would be, but it does keep the fun tone of Fairly OddParents while making it serious most of the time. Well, while having some serious moments overall. But as fun as it is, the story just seems like it can just come up with anything, and that's what I like about it. That's one of those very easily done stories that create an entire conflict within the whole game. And like I said, the levels correlate to a bunch of episodes and kind of a mix of certain episodes once in a while, which is fun for a fan like me who loved the show and who loved going through every single level and enjoying it. The platforming sections are fun. Once in a while, you're gonna get annoyed if you don't really know exactly how you're gonna do everything, but it's done well nonetheless. And again, each level is stylized in a certain way. Every level takes place in a different location, which is fun because games like this where you have to do more than one location that feels the same, it gets irritating. Every single level has their own theme and premise in order to build up expectations. The humor in the game is pretty well there too, and it went during the beginning of the level, the ending of the level, the in between sections, granting wishes. It's pretty fun. Unfortunately, there's not that much conversation with Cosmo and Wanda outside of the cutscenes, and I gotta admit, having the entire voice cast here is pretty well done. I enjoyed hearing. I mean, I know some games like this would get other voice actors to voice the characters, but I am so glad they got the original voice cast to voice this, or else it would have fallen flat, and it wouldn't have been the charm there. So, we got to practice. Let's see, we got 4 levels upstairs, we got 4 levels downstairs, and the final level, so that's 8 levels, and out of all of those, technically, there's only 3 levels with bosses, and 1 has 3 boss fights, so I guess that kind of works. So 8 levels with 3 boss fights, but with 1 level having 3 bosses, that kind of makes it 5 bosses. So a little half of the levels have bosses, which is fun. The wishes that you get to progress through each level is beautifully done. I'm going to give 1 wish per level. So, like in the Crimson Chin level, all the wishes are collected before you head off into the main sections of the game, of the level. So you get the Chin Copter to take on Country Boy, you get Shinarang to take on Spatula Woman, and you get the Punching Glove Grapple to take on Gilded Arches. The Squirrely Scouts, you dress up as a girl in order to infiltrate the Cream Puffs, and where you gotta do a dumb QTE dancing thing. I mean, it's the only part of the game where you actually have to do a QTE section. So I'll give them credit for restraining themselves for QTEs. In the bathroom level, we get one of the dumbest wishes, which is a pipe cleaner, where we used to balance on long hair strings. I don't know. In the video game level, we get a bulldozer or a snowmobile bulldozer in order to push ice blocks. And I gotta admit, in that level, we get to switch between Chester and AJ at certain sections just to have a little fun. And not to do fun in order to do certain sections. You have AJ to do the speedboat run, which the speedboat runs like crap. It's slow as molasses at times, and turning is a pain to do when you have to do it in a certain time limit. And then you gotta do damn it, what's it called? Space Invaders type thing with Cyber Bees with Chester. And then we gotta do the final boss section with Timmy. I like how they did that. It's changing between characters during a certain section. I enjoyed it, and that's a good premise for video game levels, too. Anytime a game does a video game-ish level, they really need to do that. Switch between characters in order to make it feel fresh. In the dog level, we get dumb stuff like propeller tail and night vision, and then digging abilities. In the time travel level, we get a hammer. and a crossbow with a punching glove. No, with a plunger and a chisel and a hammer. Not the most creative ones in that one. In the space episode, we get the Crash Nebula suit with a pillow cannon. Okay then. In the bad luck level, we get super rocket boots, which it does one of the most annoying sections in the game, which is one of those levels where you're rocketing through the level and you gotta jump and avoid obstacles or else you have to start over again. Literally one of the most infuriating parts of the game. Also, throughout every level, there'll be Crimson Chin cards to collect in order to unlock bonus features in the main menu, such as clips from the show, music from Chip Skylark, which, can we just say Chip Skylark beats out a lot of the hip-hop musicians nowadays? Can we all just agree with that, who are fans of the show? So yeah, the cards are there to collect. The game is just classic fun, and there's not a lot of issues with it, but I just feel like for 7 hours of fun, you'd think they put in more levels, which, all honesty, in a game like this, 8 levels seems to be the max amount, and it's done really well. I mean, it's a game where you can play, like, not to, like, grind and complete everything in one day. I mean, you literally can, if you're good at the game. But for a retro game like this, and how well they do it based on the TV show, and all the good episodes, and the fact that it's not even that, it's a 17-year-old game, does it still hold up? I really want them to do a remaster of this game. Because they redid SpongeBob, so hopefully this game and the other games will get a remaster. This game was a fond memory from my childhood. There were little things that were a little annoying, like once in a while, there would be a couple of bugs here and there when I played it, but that's years ago, so it's not that big of a problem. The audio sounds a little scratchy, like it's like they're too close to the microphone and all that, and it's kind of staticky. But overall, it's a fun game to play for nostalgic reasons. And if you have the game, and if you want to give your kids something fun to do that doesn't require them to have a lot of stress or to pay to play like other games do, this is a fun retro game that will make any kid wishing for more. Hopefully. So, GamerK's final verdict for Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules is a superb but not perfect 8 out of 10. If they did a little bit more with the levels and not just have the whole thing be about Vicky, I mean, I think the game would have been a little better if they included some of the other villains. Like, I want to remember who was there during the time, like, they could have done Dark Laser. They could have done Norm the Genie. Crocker was only in a couple bits in one level. They had the anti-fairies, and I mean, yeah, it was the game in the show's first couple seasons, but the game did very well to give fans of the show a fun ride that was definitely odd, but oh so fun. And that's it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Coming up next week, we're about to, let's see, what can I say about this? It's a DLC review where we'll be swinging away with everyone's favorite wall crawler, and everyone's favorite leather-clad cat. Okay, every Marvel fan's favorite leather-clad cat. This is GamerK, logging out.